Hey, what's happening? What's happening? Some of you have checked out the videos on the compound interest calculator and getting started with Roth IRA investing and about index funds. So today I wanted to talk about a couple Warren Buffett quotes, and it all goes back to investing, secrets of investing, recipes for success for investing. And so I'm going to talk about two quotes from Warren Buffett, and then I'll talk more in the next video about the Roth IRA investing and keeping going with that. So one of the famous Warren Buffett quotes, maybe the most famous Warren Buffett quote of all time, is "Never lose money." And then rule number one about investing: never lose money. Rule number two: don't forget rule number one. And so the idea there, obviously, you don't want to make bad investments. And what he's talking about, though, really is over the long term. Don't lose money over the long term. And that leads me to the second quote that I want to talk about right now, Warren Buffett. And I believe it's attributed to Warren Buffett based on his letter to his shareholders, I believe in 1986, as he writes the annual letter to the shareholders. And so several quotes and financial advice and really even books and studies and whole financial classes are based off a lot of his quotes. So this quote from, I believe it was from 1986, is "Be greedy when others are fearful, and fearful when others are greedy." And another way to interpret that is buy low, sell high. When everyone else is fearful, when everyone else is thinking it's time to sell stocks, now is not the time to invest. At that time, that's precisely the moment where you want to buy, because you're essentially buying things on sale. And so be greedy when others are fearful. Everyone else is afraid to invest. Everyone else is maybe selling their assets, their stocks. Maybe it's real estate. It could apply to assets. Certainly Warren Buffett primarily applies to stocks. And then, of course, he says index funds is a way to go for the most common investors. And then be fearful when others are greedy. So when everyone's buying, when everyone says it's the best time to buy, when everyone says you have to buy this stock right now, buy, that is the time to be fearful, to be cautious, and not to invest because you're paying too much. So the big idea there is be greedy when others are fearful. You need to have some cash. And so in the previous videos, I've talked about having a savings and some financial advice as far as investing goes. And a tactic in investing is that if you have a fund, if you have an account, whether it's a brokerage account or even a savings account, you want to keep about 5% in cash at all times, and 95% maybe a combination of stocks or index funds or bonds. But the big idea there is if you have that cash ready to go, now's the time to be greedy. And speaking right now in September of 2022, right now, stocks are down. Right now, people are fearful. Now's the time to get greedy. Now could be a time to get greedy. And if you're a consistent investor and you're doing your research and you're looking for companies, just give a few examples. Looking at certain index funds, looking at certain stocks, companies like Apple, great company. We know it's going to be around. We know it's going to be successful. Companies like Amazon, companies like Netflix, companies like Tesla. Those companies, they're strong, successful companies. Right now, the price is down. Right now, a lot of people are fearful. A lot of people are selling. Microsoft would be another example. And certain index funds, and I've gone into detail in some of the other videos, and I'll do so in future videos. Certain index funds right now that have a lot of those stocks, kind of the basket of stocks, have a lot of those stocks that I've mentioned. Those are on sale right now. Now's the time to get greedy, especially if you have cash and you're getting started investing, or you're continuing investing, you're continuing with index fund investing or Roth IRA investing. Now's the time to be greedy when others are fearful. And then, of course, when everything goes back up, and that could happen. Nobody knows. Nobody's got the crystal ball, but that could happen in 6 months. That could happen in 6 weeks. That could happen in 6 days. Things are going to start going up. I think it's going to be a little bit longer, so it could be more closer to 6 months to a year, and I think most financial analysts are saying that right now. Could be into next year, into 2023, when prices, when the stock market, when things start going back up. At that time, that might be a time to sell and what they call rebalancing, and I'll talk about that in a future video. So again, two famous Warren Buffett quotes that I talked about today. Never lose the 2 rules of investing. Never lose money. And then rule number 1, never lose money. And then don't forget rule number 2, don't forget rule number 1. Kind of rinse and repeat. And then the second Warren Buffett quote, and really applies to right now, September 2022, but it applies to a lot of moments in life. Certainly, we're living in a moment right now where this applies. Be greedy when others are fearful. Be fearful when others are greedy. AKA buy low, sell high. Now could be a great time to get started and keep investing. Until next time, be peaceful.